about ready. We'll kick this thing off and get going so we get going tonight before 10 o'clock. Sean, if you will,
Please.
call the roll.
Dickie Kentner,
Here.
Bobby Westbrook,
Here.
Todd Peterson here, Mayor Treat,
Here.
Mayor Mike Kemp,
Here.
Jason Temple,
Here.
Kim Couples,
Here.
Tyler Hensley,
Here.
and Jamie Reagan.
He's on vacation.
What's that?
Never heard of those things.
We have a quorum present.
It does happen.
Declare this meeting open for business. We will get right to it.
No.
Everybody has a chance to look at the minutes from our May 28th meeting. By the way, this is our June 25th, 2026 meeting. Any question on the minutes from May 28th? Move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Miss Rhonda, you're up.
Apologize for my casualness.
Oh,
Nice.
I like it.
Whew.
Look
We're
more
having
formal.
summer nights and I'm helping coordinate that with the chamber and I'm out there sweating setting up tents. So if you're bored after this, come on over.
Yeah.
We're having fun over there.
All right.
Okay, financial notes. I have started work with the auditor. Send him all of our bank statements, reconciliations, all of the checks, and everything we've got for the year. So he's starting to dig into it. I'm sure he'll have 500 more things that he needs for me to turn over, but we started. So that's going good. You'll notice on the financial statement, I made a $3,000 correction because my old eyes don't see well between 8s and 5s. I'll just be honest sometimes, so don't see them right. I wrote the check for the correct amount.
Yep.
Came out of the bank at the correct amount, but I put it in QuickBooks, $3,000 less, so it's corrected now on your financials. You can see there that on the easement acquisition account, and remember this is the end of May, we ended up with 105,000 plus a little. We ended up with the first security general operating account was 69,000. The first service money market meter fees were at 98,000. And the gateway CD is still there at 50,000. Any questions on the checks or anything that were written? They were pretty much the standard checks.
Rolling, sorry. I apologize.
Did that say Bryant? Is rolling
Brian
or
is,
rolling?
yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Anyway,
I'm bad, Rhonda.
I'm just laughing. It's so
We
funny.
needed
I
that.
needed
sorry.
that today, yes.
Yeah.
If you look at the accounts receivables report that I sent you, they are aging detail. The two items that are on there have been paid. So, you know, I'm getting ready to do another billing, but they have been paid, boom, boom, boom. So, it's good news. They don't owe us a lot of money.
Yes.
So, just been getting that going. You can see the billing amount on this long, teeny tiny spreadsheet that I will bill. You can see the checks I've written down there that I'm gonna bill for. You can see the easement payments that I've written that I'm gonna bill for. And I will do that. It's 60, now actually this 0626B, that very last one is the one I will do tomorrow and send to her. The 0626A, I bill them at the beginning of June and they're already paid.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying to really turn those around as quickly as possible, get the money back in here. You see on your ARPA funds, we're getting down to, we'll be under 2 million this time, next time. So, you know, we're sending it down. And it's gonna end up about right. I always remind people, when you look at the 10 million that we had, just remember that 2 or 3 million of that were some pretty big land purchases. It wasn't all easements and general operating.
That's right.
So just keep that in mind, so that you don't, you know, panic that, oh my gosh, we're totally run out. But there were some big land purchases that occurred. early on with that. And I think, you have any questions? That's it. No questions? Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Rod.
thank you.
Motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, I agree. Yes. For old business, Sean, if you're ready or would like to, would you kick that off with easements? Let's talk about those for a little while. Get our update going.
Yes, sir. All right, so I gave y'all some handouts. We didn't get quite as many easements this month. But we have a bunch of them in the works. Perry just reviewed McGeorge's stuff, and that's a little bit, they had their lawyer rewrite a few things into their easement documents. Need to talk to Matt at some point in time about it. They're wanting to be a little bit close on some blasting stuff if they need to, so. We need to make sure we're comfortable with that. And I don't know what that looks like for what kind of pipe we use, or whatever going through there, so. I emailed that, document to Brett, so you may wanna put your eyes on it. What you think. Got several other easements that are in the works. You can see on here kind of anything in green is secure. Anything in blue is Volker. There's a couple of different colors on some stuff in there that I'll explain at a later date. We're tracking some stuff a little bit different for some other purposes on who's acquiring what. So anyway, you'll see some different colors on the right end of the sheet. So, you kind of figure out that blue is Volker, the orange is Perry or somebody else that worked on that. Some of this maroonish color was some stuff Mariah worked on early on, and then anything in the green is stuff I worked on. But that'll kind of give y'all a little bit of a little more of a detail on how those are going. Anyway, things are going pretty good. I think Brett's got everything from the TSR all the way up to the plant now, so we've got all of our easements in line, and I've got a few more to mail out. We'll have everything mailed out on that. So
Good deal, Sean. Do you have a rough idea of rough number, maybe how many? 50s, 60s? I wouldn't hold you to it, just a rough.
I'm trying to think what we have left. What would that be, Brett? 80-ish? Somewhere around there?
Yeah, 1194, so that's 105.
That's total.
That's
Easements.
total, yeah, it's-
Documents.
Right.
It's different on the, some of these are combined, which makes a big
I think you
difference.
said last week, last week.
Left,
Yes, sir.
But these numbers.
It's about like
look a
80
little-
property owners, but it may be multiple
80
tracks.
tracks.
Okay.
The way I view it, it's just 80 contacts.
Okay.
Some of them you secure 2, 3, 4 easements at a time.
is Volker being productive? He did it.
You did. That's what I highlighted on these sheets. So, anything in blue is what they've gotten so far.
So what's blue?
That was blue on the right hand side is the bulk
Or
of acquisition.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good.
There's no.
Alright, so there's I don't think they've done anything. We've just sent out survey letters on treated water.
So, all told, there's about 140, 135 easements, but yes.
If you're including finish?
Yeah.
Possibly, yes. But to get this ready, I don't know where that falls in, Matt. I'm just curious. Are those on a totally separate deal or not? On finished water stuff?
Totally separate timeline.
Well, I mean, you've got river to plant. Right. That's what you have to get, correct?
Yeah, see them all. All finished work every year, see.
Florida's got 10
So
easements, is all they've got. How much are we paying?
They're paying by the easement.
and they're getting paid by the hour. So Dickie probably has those totals, or Rhonda did.
Rhonda had them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how many hours have they spent towards those 10?
It's gonna be close to about $50,000 mark,
So about 5,000 in easement.
somewhere in there.
We were expecting to have more numbers by now.
Yeah.
We haven't really made the 5,000 per easement. I can't remember if that was reasonable or not, but, it just depends if they were the hard easements, to get or something.
So, right, the very first part of it was hard. The stuff
Yeah.
that they have now on anything from the TSR to the water treatment plant. I mean, they got the same, advantages, disadvantages as I do. I'll just say that.
And you're costing us,
A lot,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're getting a great return.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah, that's tough.
Then utilities investment in this.
So, yeah, mine's on the free stuff.
We need to talk about it. Let's bring it up in this next committee meeting and let's talk about that.
What is the community?
Whenever we.
Whenever we call, whenever we call them.
If they're not gonna produce, I don't think we should use it. And I don't call that producing.
My next
I call
question
it
too,
good doing.
Doesn't look like it.
how often are they building? They're not piling up hours.
No, we had some invoices that got kind of stacked a little bit, but otherwise, I mean, they're billing monthly.
I can tell you, they are so swamped from RDOT projects that I'm kind of surprised. I'm not surprised, I just was kind of wondering if they were really gonna be able to invest their time into this. So something, we need to take a relook at this again, I think.
They may not have time. And we may,
Yeah,
Sunday, we're gonna need, hopefully, to get kind of the mass canvas out to, landowners, particularly those, I can say, in the Saline water area, which is where we're getting these. There's gonna be a 6 to 8 week period soon. And to me, it makes sense if they're at all producing, they'll commit to devoting more people hours to it. We're gonna need an all hands on deck approach for a short while, and I don't think that's being alarmist at all. We have that need coming up real soon. And I would rather be asking someone for an easement before their water rates went up rather than after.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the timing is that.
Alright, I just looked at my stuff, it didn't print all my, anyway, this document, I can email it to anybody, it didn't print everything out, so. I didn't check that, sorry. That was all correlated and stapled, didn't print everything. But no, I know it's a big deal with Volker. And I don't know if we try to task them with some finished water stuff or not. I don't, Yeah, I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to devote on finished waters.
Yeah, I hadn't heard, so the finished water is a whole new book
Yeah.
here. We got the route, everything, who we're tying into and stuff like that. I haven't heard anything on that yet, but so before we blow and go, let's talk through it and get it kind of planned out. So, so we avoid a lot of problems, but we should have it should go easier, hopefully, than this raw water line thing went, but it's gonna be more crowded. Something we'll start working on, for sure. Great report, Sean. If we're at 1.6 million left estimated to buy all the remaining easements, if that's what that number means, we got enough money left, the 2.1 out of the ARPA to cover that. Meanwhile, we're still burning let's bump it up, 175,000 a month for engineering. We're gonna run that 2 or 3 more months, and that eats that up. Where's our next funding option?
We're gonna talk about a little bit of that later. Yeah,
Seeing the tank is starting to starting to run dry. And it would be great to have all of our easements and land acquisitions and stuff completed before we run out at 2 million. And then,
that has been
That's
the
the
whole,
end of the year.
yeah, at the end of the year, got to be done. Does that number include the finished water easements? And the
we
one-
didn't talk about that, if it includes it or not. I mean, in the back of my head, and I could be wrong, I'm thinking, you get that water plant built, well, we can tie into some folks in an interim to get some water out from the plant, but to build that big transmission line to give Haskell the line that they're expecting all the way to East End, that's a project.
No, East End is not included.
Yeah, later, but to get out there eventually, yeah,
We need to have our technical review committee to talk about, we have routes all
yeah.
ready to go.
I think it'd be good, and bring everybody, I think you'll get a lot more help, because everyone has utilities and they can help you work those routes and things like that.
So on that note, these bond people and money people, they have said along that we needed all the easements. Would that include past the water plant or to?
That's what I was wondering. I mean, I always thought y'all said all along it was from the river to the plant.
Yeah. I mean, I disagree. We can't, we can't sell water until we deliver to the finished water plant.
Good question would be, do we need that to the plant entirely before we can ask for the geo?
We can ask the geo lady that.
That's what I was saying.
That's what we always do.
Yeah, it's always been, the discussions we had most recently was that there was enough money to obtain all the easements.
Yes, ma'am.
So the fact that there's not enough, this is new news that we'll need to look at. But the next funding source is planned to be the GEO bond program,
Mhm.
so that will be the next committee will address.
And Benton's just buying raw.
Yes, sir. That's right. So, do we need to hire someone else? Do we need to hire, and I'm asking it, anybody, to throw somebody else in that mix? Listen for an opinion, sounds like it's gonna get binding.
I think you'll have to consider it.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, the more help, the better.
I agree.
We made great progress with in-house. We've done a tremendous job in-house, and we thought we would really finish it off with hiring somebody, but if we need to
They
hire-
have been good, I know, yes, sir.
But yeah, I
No
think-
question there, no problem there, I'm just talking about the,
Sean,
help them.
yeah, let's get a committee meeting and let's figure out and find out if was there another candidate at the time? I can't remember.
We got two.
Yeah, it was 2, I thought. There are some others out there that we can possibly hire.
You know, I'll just inject on this, but.
Yeah.
If we do that, we need to have a severance point on, if we're gonna say, cause we're getting close to having everything from the river to the TSR,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Once that's done, that's done, all those are put to bed. Once you go from the TSR to the plant, you really need the same people working on that section.
Okay.
Any of the finished water coming out of the plant, that needs, let that, I mean, that could be a separate,
Okay.
somebody, I think, and go with that. But
Let's talk about that, cause you know, maybe the various utilities can help out with that are in that service area.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that would be
Maybe give them
good.
more help.
You're going right.
And in some of the cases, we're gonna be wheeling, aren't we? We're not gonna necessarily be building new lines.
It has to.
Have to be getting.
There will be some waiting.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause there's a big transmission line, if you wanna call it that, that's going out from the plant.
We've already routed that finished water line and we've edited the field. And then Sean sent Perry the route, he prepared all the addresses for us. Sean sent letters. And so our guys will go out and survey that. Get the easements going on that one.
And the other group was called Pinnacle.
That's
Yeah.
Pinnacle.
Know that.
We know anything about them? Much?
I have another local option, and it's not Randy Bridges,
Oh, I got you.
but I have another local guy who is an option.
That's what I
Is
wanted, that's what I wanted to hear.
Is it imperative that we, try to pick somebody else if we gonna bring somebody in today? Or is that something that we could, ask the, appropriate folks to collect a little more information and have the financial committee consider it and provide us with a recommendation?
I think
And instead of all of us trying to hash it out.
Sean, what about, water associations, helping, either get them, put people out there, put money into it, or whatever. If y'all just kind of consider that, and let us know, I guarantee you, I'll take it straight there.
Okay.
Well, we need to talk about options pretty
Yeah,
quick.
that's up to y'all, I support y'all anything you do, y'all done great. But I do think, Mike, we're gonna have to address that.
Today?
I don't think it's a today thing. I don't know if we can legally do it.
Well, that's what I was,
Yeah.
that way we have time to collect a little bit more information.
Yeah.
And to me, there's a huge financial component to it too, you know, and that's the reason I'm thinking it's okay, it's appropriate for the finance committee to, you know, look at our options and
Yeah.
provide us a recommendation.
Well, one reason we went with Volkert was the county was using him at the time and doing a good job, and the judge recommended, said they would be good, so,
I've got Pinnacle's RFQ submission on my screen right now.
okay?
They've done work for the city of Benton, for the city of Bryant, and for RDOT. Thing is, each one of theirs, they're touting that they got 3, 5, 6, and 10 easements in each of these projects. We've got a project that's a little bit larger than that. So I'm not sure, I mean, they are an option. We have their submission. Talk, but
I think we're gonna have to go back and look at the contract we signed too.
With Volkert, yeah, I'd say that's right.
Just, does this come under do we have to do we don't have to do another RFQ or anything like, or RFP or anything like that?
we don't have to do a separate.
Okay.
To hire Pinnacle,
We don't have to do separate.
to hire Pinnacle, but hire anybody else.
So we already have our, technical qualifications for Volkert, Pinnacle. We just need to add qualifications of any other parties that we want to consider.
Would it be Crystal or would it be outside of Crystal?
Outside.
What was I don't want to get wrong.
Sir?
The dollar limit.
250.
Before having
250.
Oh, you're talking about
30.
If we have to bid it out?
Yeah.
35,000.
35.
We need to
With the cap on.
As I said, we just need that extra rock boost.
I really like this. It worked well for us. Remember when you and I had a in Salem, way back there, we had a boy that did that, just stepped out, did it by himself, and was really good. I asked him, and he not interested anymore. He'd have to have a truck, a bunch of other stuff. So I'm listening. I like that, cause we got it done. or Perry did. And kept him, all he could handle, that's all he did every day for sale. Yes, ma'am.
Would it be possible for the board to authorize the reissuance of the RFP tonight? And then it could be issued and responses collected by the next meeting?
Yeah.
Move this forward?
There you are, Mike.
I'm good with it.
Rick is at, yeah, I'm looking for a simple way. We just need to solicit requests for qualifications from individuals or anybody else out there, but we've already advertised for everybody. I don't think you're breaking the rules if you ask for an individual to submit qualifications in addition, and we'll consider them all again. Because we've already advertised it once, and we could hire Volker, Pinnacle, and we could have 3 people trying to work for us if we wanted to get this thing done.
That's what I'd like to do.
You know, if that's what the board would like to do.
Of course, the other question is how much it's gonna cost.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we need to,
We gotta get it done.
yeah, we need to spend this $2 million before the end of the year.
But y'all allocated like $250,000 towards it, isn't that right? 200 or 250, I can't
I
remember.
don't know how much we spent.
She's not.
Yeah, there was a budget for hired easement
Yes.
acquisitions, but we can get that amended.
My problem with publishing a supplemental RFQ is that it's like learning that you got broken up with on Facebook. They're gonna read it, they're gonna see we're advertising. If we're prepared to have a bit of discussion with them sooner rather than later, that's a good idea. We, at least initially, we can keep less than $35,000 on trial basis whenever we might consider grafting onto our current efforts.
What was $35,000 for?
That's just the limit
Yeah.
that you can spend without going out to advertise.
That's a big.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
We could go higher.
Yeah,
Go low.
Okay, without advertising.
$30,000 worth of easements.
I'm with you now.
Or we could hire them through my contract. It's
Yeah.
through the amendment to my contract as well. We do that all the time.
Yeah,
To that note, speed this up.
yeah, well,
If the board gives, I like the way the committee does it, and you. So if we do something tonight, when y'all have a committee meeting, we can put it in order right there. Does that sound right?
Mhm.
To make this move.
The easement committee, right?
The easement committee, yes, not.
Our recommendation, but if
yeah, so we,
you want, or if you want us to, if you want the easement committee to interview first, and that's suggesting that what you want.
let's bring them into the fold of consideration.
Bring them
So
into it.
can we authorize, the board authorize easement committee to meet about this issue and to solicit for additional qualifications? If we decide to do that, and go ahead and get that process going, so we can get that information in, and once they're qualified and we decide and the deal's good, we can hire them.
And not just him. If you find somebody else, bring them to the committee.
So I'll make that motion to
Yes.
authorize the committee to meet and discuss this issue and to go ahead and solicit new RFQs for additional assistance in our easement acquisition for consideration by the board.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I agree.
Did
Let's
we,
get this going.
did we take care of everything she was concerned about? All right, you okay?
You good? All right. Good deal. Yeah. Next, update on our engineer status of design. And I think I heard you say we're pretty much there.
Well,
Not completely, I know.
I mean, we have a tremendous amount done, and we need to schedule, I got your email, and I got a chance to.
I sent it to every Matt I knew. I'm sorry about that.
I've done that
Usually
before.
you're my first Matt that pops up, but it wasn't on that email. I sent it to a bunch of other Matts.
They were very confused.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, we're not really part of the committee, Jason. Sorry about that. Sorry.
We didn't have our meeting and go over that and show you, but, you know, the intake, structure design is 80% complete, maybe, or probably more. We want to sit down and show you all that with the easement committee. I think an important thing that can analysis, I think we have today, we got the 404 permit for the intake structure. For the Corps engineers, and so that is worth celebrating.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's good.
That is good. That is really, really good. So the Corps engineers, we've been fighting with them for longer than you care to know about the 404 permit. And I won't drag you through all the details, but they've been trying to tie the whole project together from the intake to the water plant and everything else in between and try to keep them separate. Anyway, been working with Alliance, whatever they're called, Alliance, used to be GD Mac, right up the road here in Reynolds Road. They're great to work with. They've been helping us with the 404 permitting, and we've successfully got the Corps engineers to release and let us get permitted separately for each segment of the project, which is absolutely the way it should be done, and they finally have agreed to do that. And I think today we got our 404 permit. I say I think because we sent a question for Lisa to ask her, but it appears that we got the 404 permit today for the intake, which is the most difficult one to get. Because we're working in the river.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of 404 concerns down there, so, that's big. And, the next one should continue to come along, the pressure pipeline, the TSR, I don't even think we have to get one for the TSR, the gravity pipeline and the water plant, so that's really big. We got the water line, right now we have 12 contracts. We have the intake, we have 2 pressure pipeline contracts, we have the TSR contract, these are construction packages. Okay. We have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gravity water line contracts. We have the water treatment plant contract, we have the Clearwell at the water treatment plant contract, we have an elevated tank contract. And so we're working on all these simultaneously. And, the heavy lift right now is with all our subcontractors at the water plant. We're working with, we got all my prime subs going, my electrical, structural, instrumentation, mechanical, all those subs are working.
Wow.
And we're, pulling all of it together into our design. So all that's coming together, it's a big project, big set of drawings, big set of specs. Big fun for us, that's what we love to do, so all that's coming together and, the financing, we're really determined how we do that, and we know that, so whether we have to do it all at once, which we don't really want to, or we stagger it, Leanne's team, we'll figure all that out. We're just trying to get it all ready, get it all shovel ready, so whenever we do have the easements and we do have the financing, we'll have our permits, we'll be shovel ready and we'll be ready to go, so you can ask my guys, we don't want to be the whole. So we're trying to get out and get all that done. And so when we get the money and we get the easements, we're ready to go. So, that's really what I need to tell you.
And that permit costs how much?
But that's a different permit.
It is?
But you're thinking of the non-repairing water withdrawal permit.
Okay,
And that was the big one we got a couple of years ago. That's in the state.
that's
And
right.
it costs $25 a year.
Yeah.
This 404 permit, it's a construction permit. It's a permission to construct in the river. We're gonna have to do some work in the river and that sort of thing. So these are construction permits that we have to get through the Corps of Engineers.
Does it have a time limit?
Sir,
Is there a time limit on a 404?
I don't believe there is. Okay. No. Well, we don't want to.
So yeah, but I mean, you just tell them, okay, we're done with the project and it's gone then?
At the end, I'll sign something.
I got you. I was just curious.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Whatever it is still a lot cheaper than that per MGD
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out of Washita.
Yeah, watch Lake
$19,000 per MGD
per year.
Oh, yeah,
per year,
yeah.
Forever.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good deal. All right. Any more questions for Matt?
No, let's get our technical committee started.
Yeah,
Time spent.
yeah. I don't know how to set that up. I mean, you just want to pick a date and go with it?
Yeah.
Just be random?
You said you wanted to meet at your office, or
Yeah.
we can meet down anywhere you want.
Yeah, just have random, not set something up like on a monthly basis or
Yes. Yeah.
whatever you want to do. Ted's on that committee too,
Yeah.
and I talked Brian to be on it too.
Oh,
Lightning in a bottle. Good luck.
Probably sooner the better, just
Good luck.
since you guys.
I'm really not looking for a lot of feedback. I mean, I do want feedback, but I really just want you to be in the know. So you know what we're doing, and I'm not the only one that knows. I want board members to know and others to know. We all went to the water barn, or the ones that could go to the water barn, went to the water barn. So the plant we're designing is similar, but different. But it is similar, like
Nice.
one barn.
It was nice. Any more questions? All right, thank you, Matt. Sounds good. Update on finance committee. Mayor Treat, you have something you wanna?
Well, nothing, no real action items. Just read the minutes. I do think we did recommend Cruz and Associates for our bond underwriter.
Yes, sir. We'll
So
speak to that in just a minute.
that's all we got.
Leanne, anything?
That's it.
Good committee meeting. That committee did recommend, Cruz. We had 3. And, I would like to ask the board to approve that, if that's okay. That recommendation from the financial committee to take them.
That's subject to,
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
that's subject to discussion, negotiation on, their fees.
Fees.
It's not, agreeing to particular fee structure. And that's per the request of operator.
So right now, we just need approval to accept them and then with that coming.
Retaining subject to the negotiation of fees.
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to retain Cruz Associates as bond underwriter, subject to negotiation of fees.
Mm-hmm.
Second.
Any question?
I would like to say that I thought the committee did a fantastic job of digging in on each of the submitters, and I thought it was a very good discussion. I appreciate the minutes that were provided.
Yes. We had a book on to look at.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ready to vote?
Leanne did good. Thank you.
Bobby, did you second?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I agree. Anything else in old business? Have we missed anything? Do we need to talk about toll for some reason? We don't have anything else to talk about? We don't? Okay, we'll let them pass tonight.
All right, that'll work.
Thank you, Tyler.
Yes, sir.
New business. Anything, sir? You come on. Only one I know of.
Thanks to big efforts by Leanne.
Yes. Yes.
AAA efforts by me. But I'm gonna get to play in the big stadium sooner or later.
Yes.
We discussed what would be necessary to bring our contracts to investment grade. And that's what they're relying on, is the relationship. And Leanne, I'm not gonna speak for you, but I'm gonna brag on your efforts. She spoke, of course, to Fitch. She spoke kind of off the record. You know, you're getting an indicative rating. She got an indication of the indicative rating.
All right.
Likewise with S&P. And I called Wiffy and we got on the line with the gentleman at Wiffy that decides whether he rates bonds. And he wrote the ratings criteria at Fitch. And we got the S&P ratings criteria. And we kept hearing about this Florida project where Polk County, Florida, which includes part of Orlando or some participant, signed an interlocal agreement that contemplated more specific individual projects as cooperative between like 2 or 3 of you might get together and run this line or something like that. And I spotted 3 times just on the general overview, the umbrella agreement, which was only 79 pages. It on 3 different occasions said we're not obligating ourselves for each other's debt, which is wonderful. somebody got a rating without having to violate Arkansas law. So what I did was it started as pen and ink and it went to a admittedly cheesy graphic, but it ended up with what you see on the screen now. And if it's okay with you, I'm just gonna go through the various items that we have to be thinking about to get the contract version 3.0.
Can we not turn that down?
No.
And I'll read it to those of you on the other side.
Right, that's a little distant.
And it starts with red, and you notice it goes to green, okay? And there's a reason for that. No specific recommendations are being made tonight. Okay, I'm just trying to get you guys
Yes, sir.
to think about what you'll be needing to think more particularly, more specifically about a month from now. The various options open to us. The first is if it's on this side, it's off the table. It's crossed out. It's not even worthy of consideration, but it would be something that would get the bond people more interested in our project. First is cross guaranteed payment of responsibility where one city pays for it. We all know that can't happen. Second, obligation from your general funds. We know in Arkansas that can't happen. All right, so the two things that might be the most ironclad on the other side, you got to think that on the other side of the glass here, they might make them smile and give us favorable ratings, but it's never going to happen. Going down into orange, commencement of debt service payments on a date certain. If that were possible out of water revenue for each of you, it would be so politically unpalatable that I can't even see serious consideration, but it's there. On, call it January 1st, 2031, no matter what, come heck or high water, everybody's going to raise their rates to make the bond debt service payments. And even if we postpone lithium money, so we're paying zero for the first 5 years, there's still going to be debt coming due. So I did the math on it. Assuming Benton does participate, it's $30 per month per customer. $38 a month if Benton doesn't. Just to pay for debt service on a system that we don't yet have the ability to use. And you'll excuse my saying we, you don't have the ability to use, my apology. The fourth option, D, mandatory buyout by Benton plus, it's been suggested repeatedly, it would be Benton, Bryant, Salem, and Southwest because it would force the bond rating people to look at us from a top-down perspective instead of from a bottom-up perspective. And that might focus a little more attention on members that would have to take ownership. And by definition, this project has failed at that point. I mean, beyond resuscitation. But I understand people have concerns about shared ownership in a different way of owning the system that may end up becoming a mandatory something to be further discussed. I crossed out two. One, commitment to set aside a surplus beyond the 1.1x. That was suggested by one source, but I glanced it off of Bob Wright, and he said that would make it unpalatable. We need the flexibility. If we're taking in more money than we need to pay debt service, we need the flexibility to direct where that money. And if it makes the most sense to us to prepay debt, then that's what to you to prepay debt, then that's what it means. But you shouldn't have your hands tied, no matter how soft and velvety the handcuffs. Raising mandatory minimum take. It provides for a lower amount on a per thousand. If you do that, it makes it more commercially viable, or apparently so. But it only really kicks in once. Leanne, please fill in the blanks for me.
I'm sorry, I sent you an email about that. That should not be on the schedule.
Right, it only kicks in. It doesn't take it. It addresses a different problem than the one we need to address. Hence, it's on the right hand side and cross through. It doesn't address our problem. I put G in the middle because it sort of addresses our problem, but not in a major way. We're going to start taking on GO money debt soon, paying that interest as it goes along. It makes the least efficient money much more efficient because you're gonna have to set aside enough in the way of, capitalized interest to pay a large amount out of that 7.5 million to get us to the point where the plant's open, because it's the earliest money we have. So, and I again did the math, it would only, assuming Benton participates, in addition to 25 cents. Until water starts flowing, it would mean $1 per month per customer. And you get yourself to the point where your 7.5 million all works for you instead of working for them. Next, reservation of pro rata debt service obligation once the infrastructure money is spent. H. In other words, if you're there, if you're here now and the contract gets amended another time, if build out starts and you make a decision that it doesn't work for you, or you've got a cheaper source, or whatever the reason, what the Florida contract had was you were committed for your pro rata share of that debt service once that money was spent, whether you back out or not. And I think our contracts are already just about worded in that direction, so that shouldn't be a big ask. I pro rata raise of minimum take or per thousand if it drops out. This is something I really want to see. If there's 9 entities and 2 of them are gone, the other 7 continue. They'll do what they need to do to make the debt service payments, raise the minimum, raise the per thousand, whatever it takes to get to that minimum that the people that we owe money to are owed. J, it's very much closely related to D up here. The mandatory assumption of ops and constituent entities and resorting the mix. If we reach the point where we cannot produce water under the current structure we have, by definition, we fail. No one wants to think about it. It's sort of like a prenup agreement. I get it, but it will make the people lending us money a lot more confident. We have a worst case scenario spelled out whereby we do our best not let them get harmed. And then lastly, in its own color, because it's so easy, it's a no-brainer. Explanatory but not themselves binding whereas clauses. You may have noticed your contract is 11 or 12 pages long. Benton's is 21. A lot of that is whereas clauses. Why are we doing this? Because Benton is in need of water, because everyone here sees that need and it won't be addressed as efficiently in any other way or as immediately in any other way. So putting those things at the front end of a contract doesn't cost us anything, but what it does do is set the tone for what comes later, and it gives the reader context against which to read what we've agreed to. I'm not recommending in particular any one of these. I'm just trying to get your thought processes flowing. Thank you for your time.
Well, okay, wait a second. This is all for, I missed the first part of it. Why are we considering this?
Because we need an indicative rating that shows investment grade paper.
Okay, and what about interim funding until we get our big fund? We're gonna run out of money possibly by the end of the
Yeah,
year.
this is
Part of that.
Well, if we're gonna borrow money from the GO, we ought to have our medium-term arrangements resolved so that we can with a straight face tell the folks over at ANRC where we're getting the money from, that we have a plan and everything's on go, even if we don't have all our easements, and that's what they're gonna help us with. So it is a chicken or the egg thing. We knew there'd be a second round. Nobody's gone to the time of taking this to the respective boards yet. But the contracts that we amended got us in the door in terms of relieving the contracts of their most offensive, if you will, conditions. This will be the final step. It will go through Leanne. It will go through Friday Eldridge and Clark. It will go back through me, and then it'll go out to you guys. But I'm just trying to get you started to think about what's going to be necessary in the contract. Very good. Leanne, color commentary.
So the way I understand is the contract says they stand currently. Don't give whoever we're gonna borrow money from enough security. So what we've got to do is add something, take away something change the contract so that they know they're gonna get paid back.
And to increase our chances, I'm sorry, Mr.
Yeah, no,
To increase our chances of getting a favorable rating, it's prerequisite Bryant, Salem, Southwest, Benton already has one. Uh, Hopefully can all get investment grade ratings or real close. And that way it'll focus whoever's doing our actual indicative rating onto the larger ones that at the end of the day will end up owning or
Yeah.
at least controlling the system.
Does this basically start generating some revenue, like proof that we can raise funds from, through our contracts? Or does any money flow? I mean, if you change your contracts to prove what Mayor Chris just said to the entities, are we actually changing our rates and collecting funds and it's flowing into the pot? So the folks that are seeing that this is legit?
no, the way I understand it is we're gonna go to our boards and say, look, when we start spending money to build this thing, if you back out after we started spending that money, you're still on the hook for that debt.
Right.
That's one. So that gives them security.
That's in the contract already.
Okay.
Yes.
It is.
The other is if someone backs out, those that are still in it agree to take more water to make sure, again, they're gonna get their money. Once we start producing water, they're gonna get their money back. So it's more about them feeling secure that they're gonna get paid and just that indicative rating. The other thing, the whereas clauses is just more more of the argument why this is such a great project. So that's why it's a no-brainer, right? We're making the argument, hey, this is a great project. This is much needed. That's the whereases, and then the where the teeth are is to make sure that all these entities are going to do what we say we're going to do and pay this money back once we start producing revenue.
The way the gentleman from Whitfield presented it, with the edge you have the clause that requires them to be responsible for the debt that's been incurred. That's there in the long term. In the short term, while litigation is working its way out, we have to increase our minimums or increase our price or whatever it takes to make that minimum pending. We're causing that errant member of entity paying what they agreed to pay.
And then the ownership piece would be if it all fell apart, the larger
Would take it.
would take it and own it, which opens other funding options.
Yeah.
If these entities own it.
Right.
So that's kind of worst case scenario, but by putting it in there, like you said, we've thought through worst case, you own us this money, you're gonna get paid back because the worst case hits, then the larger entities own it and can borrow money or get money and have different revenue streams.
I'll send that out to the board after the fact, but that's the best I could organize and, from all the sources we heard from.
And we can, it's kind of like a menu, right?
Yes.
Like we can say, hey, we'll do a couple of these. We don't have to do them all, but we can do a couple of these and see how they respond to that and can say, hey, yeah, this looks a lot better, makes us feel more comfortable about giving you a rating and loaning you the money.
Mr. Mayor, there's nothing incongruous between electing to say once you establish yourself at a time that the debt is issued, you're still on the hook for it, and requiring everybody else to make up for it in the meantime or as long as it takes. My concern is each entity might have a pet provision that they really do or don't like, and if
think about it, you've got 9 people here, and there's only about 5 options up there that are worth you to think about. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask everybody to keep an open mind to, just to make the project move forward, not emphasizing any one particular.
Well, and I think, I'm also thinking about what I can communicate and educate my council on. I think that's some of what it can get a little bit confusing, what we're asking them to sign off on. And so the simpler, clearer path is helpful.
Once they get done with 4 pages of whereas clauses, you're on.
That tells them there are no more people, there are no more of these projects coming. If this one don't go, all you got left is Central Arkansas one. And you're gonna be paying a ton for it, and it'll never stop going up.
Yeah.
That's why we've gotta consider everything. Everybody knows exactly what's going on. Any more questions for Perry?
Well, we've already seen, from our alternatives, they've already said things and told us,
They've already said
this much
they're gonna go up, their rates are going, everybody's gonna go up. And if we do, then we own it. And then ours will go down when theirs are still
That's what I was
going
gonna
up.
say. I think the important factor here to make sure our councils understand is our most expensive day is the first. And the price is gonna go down from that point.
That's right. You're telling it right.
And whereas the alternative is just the opposite.
Never stop.
We're on our least expensive day now, and it's gonna go up. I think that's the most important point that we need to emphasize with our councils, to tell you the truth. And that's, to me, that's what makes this whole thing make sense.
Yeah.
And I think the finance committee will be working on a recommendation for the next board meeting.
I would hope.
Yeah, I think, because we've been talking about it, I think we'll come with a recommendation of kind of what we see as the best path forward.
Yeah, I mean, just you were very timid about what we actually accomplished in last month, likewise, Leanne. We did a lot last month.
Yeah.
Yes. Investigation. This isn't the mayor, this isn't me, this isn't Leanne speaking, right? Well, in part it's Leanne, but it's the outsiders that in the ratings industry that each of us, so.
Any more questions? Good. It's good. If not, we're into public comment. Anyone out there would like to ask a question, ask anything you want to. That's what makes us better. Please do.
We had questions and we spoke to the person that solved our problem.
Thank you, Sean.
Good.
Oh, that's what we like. Bring it here. Keep it open. Next meeting. The date we checked in the financial meeting was July 23rd, I believe, next month. Everybody checked. You good?
Yep.
Is that right, Mayor? Is that what we talked about?
Just showing you a good quality.
20, what?
Third?
Oh, okay, I thought you said 28, that's on Tuesday, you're not.
Yes, sir. You better ask every time.
Okay, July 23rd, that's good.
July 23rd, 5 o'clock, right? Anything else? We missed anything? Anybody got anything they want to say? Good meeting. Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you.